Welcome back to MTG Faya. Today we're breaking down Fire Lord Azula, a Grixis spellslinger deck that thrives on instants, sorceries, and spell copying. When she attacks, she generates 2 red mana with firebending. While she's attacking, every spell you cast gets copied, with new targets if you want. Attack first, then unleash doubled spells to completely overpower the table. This deck doesn't win by turning creatures sideways. It wins by outvaluing, outslinging, and eventually outburning the table. Let's explore how this deck operates when you put it to work. Slinging spells start with mana, and this deck, it does it right. Between Soaring, Signet, Talismans, and Stormkiln Artist, this deck rams hard without sacrificing spell density. Your lands are tuned for consistency, strong Grixis fixing, and just enough basics to stay safe. Smooth mana means smoother turns. Smoother turns mean more spells. At the heart of this deck are its true engines: Archmage Emeritus, Stormkiln Artist, Guttersnipe. These cards turn simple spells into overwhelming advantage. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, Archmage Emeritus keeps your hand full, Stormkiln Artist fuels your turn with treasure, Guttersnipe steadily bleeds the table. On their own, they're already powerful, but this deck, it's built to push them further. Cards like Double Vision and Swarm Intelligence copy your spells, effectively doubling the value your engines generate. Even a spell as modest as Electrolyze suddenly becomes Draw 2, Deal 4 twice. Add Twinning Staff and those copies start to stack, quickly sending your spells completely out of control. And then there's Veyron, Voice of Duality. Veyron doubles triggered abilities, which means your engines are generating even more value. Card draw keeps the entire machine running. Brainstorm, Fact or Fiction, Dig Through Time, Treasure Cruise. You never run out of gas. Now let's turn that advantage into pressure. Your main win condition? Spell-based damage. Guttersnipe and Fiery Inscription punish the table every time you cast a spell. And when it's time to end the game, Comet Storm closes it out. At the same time, you quietly build a board. Young Pyromancer, Telrend Sky Summoner, Sedgemoor Witch. Every spell becomes a creature. Blockers, chip damage, protection, all without changing the plan. Even when you're not winning immediately, you're always progressing. And because you're in Grixis, you always have answers. Terminate, Infernal Grasp, Kongify, Reality Shift. When things get messy, Blasphemous Act and Toxic Deluge reset the board. On the stack, you disrupt and protect. Arcane Denial, Bolt Bend, Chaos Warp, and Rakdos Charm. And Propaganda quietly shuts down combat decks that try to pressure you early. You don't lock the table. You just make sure your spells matter more. Fire Lord Azula is a deck for players who love stack interaction, spell chains, and explosive turns. It rewards patience, timing, and knowing exactly when to pull the trigger. If you love spellslinger decks that feel unstoppable once they're online, this one is for you. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the content, feel free to like the video or subscribe to the channel. And remember, one spell is never enough.